All right, what's going on, everybody? Happy Sunday morning. Happy Victory Sunday. Yes, I do realize that we played the equivalent of a high school team yesterday. And yes, I do realize that if we got all the Canes YouTubers together, threw some pads on, went on that field, we probably could have beaten that team. But you know what? A win's a win. And you know what? I think yesterday's game came at the right time because this team needed a gigantic confidence boost, and I think they got that in this game. A lot of freshmen obviously got some playing time. They got some burn, and and I think that's valuable. Getting those reps, especially for the quarterbacks, especially and the running backs also, for that communication, that quarterback running back exchange, the receivers. A lot of guys on defense got some playing time, so I'll talk about that in a second. But just wanted to hop on and give you my quick thoughts on yesterday's game. Hey, Randy, what's going on, man? Kyle, what's up? If King is healthy, does he start? No, because, well, first of all, I don't think there's no way he's going to be 100% healthy this season. It looks like De'Aaron King, we rushed him back. I don't think his knee is completely healed enough that he's 100 or 1,000% confident on it. Remember, you got to shake off the mental rust as well. I think they rushed him back, and on top of that, you got the shoulder injury. So, no, he's not 100% healthy probably until next year, and who knows what he does at that point. I wish him the best, obviously, but I think you ride the young guys right now. You ride Van Dyke and Garcia. But let me know you guys' thoughts on how they looked to you. I thought they looked pretty solid. Yes, it was a lot of bubble screen stuff. It was a lot of, predetermined reads and stuff like that. But vanilla play calling aside, I thought they looked very poised. Garcia looked not quite as accurate as Van Dyke did early on. However, I thought they both looked good. Garcia really settled in and got more into a rhythm as the game went. And he hit a beautiful deep ball to Jacoby George. That was one of my favorite plays of the game. Van Dyke hit the first touchdown to Mike Harley was perfectly placed. That bubble screen that Brashard Smith took to the house was an awesome play. He earned himself permanent playing time, in my opinion. And I'll go through some of the guys that I thought earned themselves playing time for the rest of the year. Randy, John Manny's big test. If the freshman play against it, or does he go seniority again? That's the fear. That's the big question, and we're going to find out Thursday. I think there were like 4 or 5 guys that definitely earned that playing time. They definitely popped off the screen, and they will be playing at least for the next 4 or 5 games. We'll see. But first off, because I'm not going to be on too long, I want to hit on the couple things that I want to nitpick. Early on, I saw on the first couple defensive drives, and later in the game too, I noticed some guys were running free in the middle of our field, and thankfully their receivers couldn't catch anything. And so that didn't really hurt us that much, and we were able to preserve the shutout. But I didn't like that Bolden and a couple other guys were late on coverage and let some guys get wide open. But it didn't happen too often. So, nowadays in college football, it's bend but don't break. Just keep them out of the end zone, which we did. So I think that's really the only thing I can nitpick at. We only had – how many penalties did we have? I'll tell you right now. We had 3 penalties for 40 yards. Okay. Good. I'm good with that. Kyle says they need to go into pistol formation whenever Thad is in. That dude will be a wrecking ball. I loved the way the young running backs looked. I was willing, listening to everybody in the offseason, I was willing to give Cam Harris that shot one more time of being the guy, being the starter, especially with Don Chaney out. I still believe he's our most talented back. Unfortunately, he's going to miss the rest of the season, which sucks. Hopefully he sticks around. But Cam Harris, it just looks to me like a stiff wind knocks that dude down. I mean, we've had a large enough sample size now that I don't see that dude ripping through arm tackles really that much. Whereas Cody Brown, Thad Franklin, and even Rooster and Chaney, they rip through arm tackles. The first guy usually doesn't bring them down. So Brown looked good. Yes, he did. I was impressed. Yeah, Cody Brown and Thad Franklin, they're not going to have blazing speed. They're not going to run away from the pack. But they remind me kind of like Javars James, guys like that, DJ Dallas, that, they got those bigger bodies. They might not have that breakaway speed, but when they get going downhill, they're going to run some dudes over. Good morning, sir. I was very, very happy with the offense overall. Nothing really to nitpick there other than the very vanilla play calling, but that's to be expected with that level of competition. I thought Garcia looked more exciting than Van Dyke did, but Van Dyke made all the throws he was asked to make. He made them pretty accurate. He would have had a perfect day if not. The Wiggins drop, was that Garcia or Van Dyke? Because now I can't remember. I was at the game. I should know. Tell me in the comments. I want to say Tyler Van Dyke threw that ball to Wiggins on that skinny post in stride, hit him right on the money, and it was dropped. So I think that's what prevented Van Dyke from having like a perfect day. Those two will tear down the defense. Rooster to take it to the house. Oh, and of course, I think we get Rooster back in the next game, so that's huge. That is massive. Bosworth, what's up, John? Saw UVA lose and UNC. We can still roll these guys. Can't make it up. Yeah, that's the story of the Coastal just every year. I mean, it looks like UNC's kind of reverted back to being that old UNC. So Garcia's the one who threw it to Wiggins? Okay. I mean, either way, it was just a perfect ball. I'm fine with, two quarterbacks moving forward. They say that that old saying, if you have two quarterbacks, you don't have one. In the NFL, I do agree with that 100%. But in college, there's been times where teams have gotten away with that. I'm not saying we're winning a national championship or anything, but look at 07 LSU, I want to say. They had Matt Flynn and Ryan Perrilloux, two quarterback system. They each had their separate role, and it just worked. Gators, Tim Tebow, Chris Leak, it worked. So if you can find a role for both these guys, it can work. I'm not saying we're going to win out, but with all the chaos in the rankings, and especially in the Coastal Division, now is our chance to go on a little 3-4 game winning streak, maybe. Not asking for much, just, with this newfound confidence maybe they got from this game, maybe the blockers get into more of a rhythm, maybe the QBs making better reads and making quicker decisions will help the offensive line. All I'm saying is these next few games are very winnable. I'm not saying we're going to blow anybody out, but going on a little win streak right now would be nice. Let's see. Randy says, tight end blocking looked good. Not shocking. Mallory's name wasn't called. Yeah, I would have loved to have seen more throws to the tight ends. I know Brantley had one nice catch. Watch out for him. I really like Khalil Brantley. Elijah Arroyo, of course, we know is special. I would have loved to have seen more out of him, more targets for him. Again, I know the competition. You don't want to give away too much, but you've got to give those guys reps. You got to give those guys a few targets, get them used to getting open, running a route, catching a ball while the bullets are flying. All very important. I trust Garcia more. He has been in big games in high school. He has, and I've said this for a while. He may be the long-term solution at quarterback. Maybe he ends up winning that job going into 2022. We'll see. Both guys certainly very talented. I would love to get Flo's thoughts later tonight because I know he's a big TVD guy. TVD, I thought, looked more poised, more accurate, but Garcia made the more exciting plays later in the game. So it'll be interesting to see. Start TVD and see if he can turn into Brady 2.0. I wouldn't be opposed to that. You kidding me? Some people said that Van Dyke didn't look very athletic, but he wasn't asked to run much. So I would love to see more from him, making that read where he pulls it and runs it. I don't like both QBs, but TVD arm is strong. Yeah, they both have strong arms. There was the one where Rambo, he got away with a little push off that he just kind of threw it up for him and he scored, or he got to the 1 yard line. That one was underthrown, but I think it's because he threw it a little late. Garcia had one that he underthrew that, again, I think he threw it late. It's not a question of arm strength. I think it was more timing than anything, but that's why it was important for them to get these reps, guys. This game, even though it didn't seem like it, it was an important game. And now with the quick turnaround, we got Virginia coming up, who is a very physical team. And before I go, I'll be on for a few more minutes. I just wanted to discuss, and you guys can let me know who you thought, who impressed you, besides the quarterbacks, who I think earned playing time moving forward, 100%. Chase Smith was the guy on defense that jumped out to me the most. And I mean, just his explosiveness, his decisiveness. I mean, he recognized plays and just shot the gap and just destroyed the running back on a couple of plays. Then there was Sam Brooks on one occasion, blew up a screen pass. He made up for missing an assignment earlier where a guy got past him on a little, not a trick play, but a little, I think it was a play action fake that he got past him, and Brooks, he had to chase the guy down. But on another play, there was a little halfback screen that he just blew it up completely. So nice to see Sam Brooks out there. I want to see more. Romello Brinson absolutely earned playing time. 100%. Yeah, if I can give like a top 5, it'd be Chase Smith, Brinson, not including the quarterbacks, obviously, and the running backs, because they're by default, they have to play. Yeah, Brinson, Chase Smith, who else? Avery Huff. I didn't see too much there that impressed me, but, getting him some more burn wouldn't hurt. Brashard Smith, that's 3 for me. Definitely agree with that. James Williams, yes. James Williams, I don't know if you guys agree with this, but he does not look like a true freshman out there. He looked very comfortable. He looked like he knew what he was doing. He had the interception. And then there was another play. He made a great play on the ball where he should have had a pick. The ball was thrown a little low. But, James Williams is already showing that he's a playmaker. So Brinson, Chase Smith, James Williams, Brashard Smith, and who else? If I had to give a top 5. Who else do you guys think? Arroyo blocked his ass off. Yes, he did. No, Arroyo's special. James, a grown man, 100%. None of the freshmen look like true freshmen. Yes, agreed. Use Brashard Smith like Harbin. Yes. You guys are not saying anything I'm disagreeing with. Arroyo. Let's see. Who would my 5th one be? Leonard Taylor did get some playing time, but, I mean, he didn't make any monster plays or anything. How many times does Wiggins have to drop a pass to never see the field again? Even though blowout, he needs to hit the portal. I'm not totally opposed to him hitting the portal. I mean, for that dude's sake. He obviously, there's something going on in his, in the mental part of the game that he needs to fix. Jacoby George. All right, that'll be my 5th one. Jacoby George had one nice play on that bomb for a touchdown. So yeah, guys, I'm gonna have to hop off. This was a much needed, nice, easy blowout victory. They needed it for confidence. They needed it for just to kind of get their footing again and get back on track. Because after that Alabama game, it just seems like this team is on roller skates, and they needed to get their footing and get some traction again so they can move forward. And I think they might. I know this might sound crazy, but I feel a little more confident than I did before going into that Virginia game. A little bit, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, guys, that's it for me. Got a busy day ahead of me. I got to get going. But as always, it's all about the U. Go Canes.